What's up, guys? And today we're going to be doing something a little bit different than usual. Today we're going to be building Firefox on Windows. And you might be like, why start with Firefox? And the reason is, Firefox is just better and easier for new beginners for building browsers and overall everything. You can see Chromium, it takes more space, at least 100 gigabytes. Also, they recommend at least 8 gigabytes, and also it requires Visual Studio and a lot more stuff. Like, for example, they also require some variables and stuff. This is very hard to read and takes a lot of stuff. It also requires Python, and there's no need for doing all of that. And only Mozilla Firefox, building it requires 4 gigabytes of RAM. Minimum 4 gigabytes of RAM. You can even have 8 gigabytes if you want to. And 40 gigabytes of space, and Windows 10 and higher. And that's the good thing about it. You don't really need, well, much requirements for it. And it doesn't need extra software, just the software called Mozilla Build. Now, once clicking on this, you will download a file called Mozilla Build Setup. Now you see I've already clicked on there before, so I can save time. So you can see, here's Mozilla Build. After you click on the little folder icon, or just run it from there, and just open it. Just double click it, just right click, open it up. Make sure you run it as administrator, and then click on agree, and then install. See, there's already a version of Mozilla Build that I already have. Now I don't want to install it because it will cause instability, so I'll click on no. So I'm just going to click on close. So after you've clicked on continue, it will not ask you any further questions, it will just install. After that, you'll see in the documentation, you have to go to C Mozilla Build, start shell.bat. That's basically where it's going to save stuff. So go to the C drive, you see this little Mozilla source folder. This is not what you want. This is not something that you'll see. This is something that you'll make later. So you'll see this Mozilla build folder. You have to go in there. You'll see the start shell.bat. Right click on it. Run as administrator. Run yes. Now if you run a little bit of a sort of Linux looking terminal. Now it's not Linux. It's similar to it. Still one done with CMD and Python. You see this thing here. Now, in the documentation, it says you have to cd to the C directory. So if I put it here, you have to go to C or wherever you want to save the files to. And something that you have to be wary of, you cannot use / in the prompt, basically. You cannot use /. So now you'll see that you'll be in the C directory. Now you have to create a directory called Mozilla source, just like the thing that we just saw over here, right here. This is the folder that you're going to make. You could either make it in here or in here. I recommend you do it in the prompt because you can easily go in there. So you have to create a folder, so you have to type in mkdir. Basically, it means make directory. Basically making a folder. Make directory. For this sort of test, I'm going to call it Video Fox. Now you see, that folder has been created. You can see I can go into Explorer here. That's another one, we don't need that. You'll see a little folder here called Video Fox that I just created. Now you see, let's go back to the command prompt. Now what we want to do is we want to cd into that directory. So we are going to type in cd video fox or whatever you name the folder to be. Now you have to type in w-get. Just select all of this, which I will recommend. Select all of this, copy, paste, and run this. Now this will download a file called bootstrap.py. Now what bootstrap.py does, it's a Python script which downloads stuff from the Mozilla servers. So after doing that, you have to go here, Python 3 bootstrap.py. Copy this and paste it in there. And now, if I run this, you can see it will run. It'll ask you for the destination directory for the clone of the Firefox source code. Now, for example, you can name this anything that you like. And if you just press enter normally, it'll go with the name of Mozilla Unified. Now, I recommend you just type in enter because it will be the best for compatibility. And also, if you are a Git user, instead of typing in python3 bootstrap.py, you can just put in this. So it's basically going to use Git with VCS parameters. So you see, I already have done this. After putting your file name there, it will automatically download everything. And it would ask you a few questions. For example, it might ask you, do you want to set up Mercurial? I think it's spelled like this, Mercurial. Say yes, reply to that with yes, agree to it. And then later it might say, are you going to be submitting to Firefox? Now, most of the time you're probably not going to be submitting, say for example, bug fixes to Mozilla. So you're going to be saying no. You're going to not agree. So after that, it will be set. Now, it might ask you for a build type, which build type that you want to use. Now, I recommend using the normal Firefox build without artifact mode, the one without artifact mode. Now the thing is, artifact mode is for people that aren't really modifying the back end of Firefox. Now you see, it makes it faster to build your application later, but it's kind of not necessary. Just use the normal version without artifact mode. I recommend that. It'll say something like downloading is ready, you can now run /build. So in the folder that you were, for example, Video Fox, and then in that folder, in the folder that you created right there, the folder that you created from the bootstrap.py, you want to be CD'd into that folder. So because I didn't really go through that, I don't have to. So I can just go CD back. CD C:\\, and then CD. You see in the Explorer my folder called Mozilla Source. So I'm going to go in there. CD Mozilla -source in here, and then the folder inside of Mozilla Unified, just as the Python script said. So CD Mozilla, not two Z's, Mozilla Unified, not with I. Unified. Now in this folder, you'll see all of these little files here. These are basically the code of Firefox and mocks. Now what mocks do is they build everything for you. What you want to do next is, as written in the documentation, number 3, build. You see, you have to CD into that second folder, and then if you have had a few warnings or sort of errors, and you're not sure if some files have been missed, you can run hg-upc central, or if you really know that it has some problems, you can run hg-update-c, which will fix all of those issues. Now after you've done that, you can run /mock build. You see, the first time you build it might take a little bit of hours, and I know that it also took a long time to download all the files. It's going to be within 40 gigabytes. Don't worry, it's not going to use that much space, although the cache might use 15 gigabytes more. It's still in the gap of 40 gigabytes. Now if I run /not build, it will finish quite fast. It's because I've already built it a few times already, and I've also changed a few brandings inside of it using a few little source code tweaks. And I will also show that how to change branding. And now the reason why I made this video is because no one on YouTube has yet made a video on how to build Firefox on Windows and how to change the branding. So why not I do it? So I'm going to let this finish and I'm going to time lapse this. So the build is done now. It didn't take too long, it took like 20 minutes. It will take even less minutes for how many times you build. You see it's done and it says you can now run, or just type in ./Mark1. Now what this does is it runs Firefox basically. Literally what it says. If I just type that in, it will run Firefox. Now you might realize something a little bit different. Remember the thing that I said about branding? So yeah, I already changed the branding to my own Cytaxian branding. Yep, I am going to launch a browser called Cytaxian based on Firefox. Not now, it's Hinge though. It's going to be called Cytaxian and this logo is going to appear. Like, that's not Cytaxian, that's the .NET version of Cytaxian. You can definitely check it out in my GitHub. I'll have a link in the description. See, now you might be like, oh, same as software. You're going to like how to change the branding. Now it's pretty easy. You'll see I haven't really found out on how to change all of the branding and preferences, but later if I find out, I'll make a part 2 of this video. How to change more of the branding. And you can see that the icon right there is still the normal icon. That's something to do with icon hashing with Windows and probably not Firefox. So what you have to do is you see this little folder here, browser, and then branding. See unofficial? In here you'll see all of the default icons. Now you see, these are all my icons now. And how did I change it? I changed it with a website called without taking a sip of water. Cloudconvert. Oh, okay, that's cool. I don't know what happened. Now you see, Cloudconvert is cloud-based. Literally, it's in the name. I don't know what's wrong with me. It's quite high quality. No promotions. It's quite high quality. All you need for all of these images is that you'll need the version of your image which is 512 in size. You see, I have it stored somewhere. If I open up another pane of Explorer. See, this is my original image, Cytaxian big. See, it's the size of 512. For example, I want to change this image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to your browser. I'm going to go over to that icon, drag it in. Now you see that image in that folder was .png. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over here, convert to PNG, and then clicking on that little wrench and set it to 16 by 16 pixels. Okay. Now convert. Now you see this is the image here. For some reason it's not showing up in there, but if you download it, it will show up. Now after you have downloaded it, you can just paste it in there and rename it to default 16. And I'll do this for all of the images. And remember, like, how did I change this one? The way I changed this one is by first going to details and say that it's that size. So then open it up with free software, which can also be bought, paint.net. So choose another app. Well, paint.net here. This one is it's a BMP file. Now open it up with paint.net. Now you can download this from the website paint.net. Just search it up on Google. Don't go to paint.net. So you just put a new image in there, drag it in, and just put it to the size, and do it for this one as well. And now, what about the BG here? How did I change the BG? How did I change that text? I used a free little website, also another website called Pixlr E. You can see in Pixlr, I changed a few more. So basically, I used Pixlr E to change the images here. You can see that image I used. Basically, what I did is with Pixlr E, I put a box on top of it, on top of the text, and then I put Cytaxian above it. And basically that's literally it. And now with this one, I basically did almost the same thing. I just basically, it's for some reason hidden. Something happened, I don't know. Basically I just, oh no, what? For some reason that happened. Yeah, I think I broke it. Basically what you're supposed to do is just change these images in Pixlr E. It's not too hard. After that, you might be like how to change the branding where it says Cytaxian. You have to go into this folder, locales and ENUS. See this brand.ftl? Open this FTL up and change all of these with your name. But you always have to not change the trademark info thing. You always have to keep this as the Firefox logos, and Firefox and the Firefox logos are trademarks of Mozilla Foundation. Also make sure to reference Mozilla because they are the ones that made the source code in Firefox. So make sure that you always reference them and put your names in there. And there's also instructions in there. Open this properties file as well. Details, not details, change. Notepad, set as default. Okay. Now open up this and change this to your likeness. Now after that, you just have to run build again. After running build, again, /mark 1, and it should be exactly like your fittings. Now later I'll make other videos on how to change even more stuff. But for today, I'm going to show how to change the icon and branding. Later, I'll show how to change even more stuff, like for example, the About page. The About page here, help, About Cytaxian, how to change these, and also change this text to your own from nightly. Also change the add-on stuff, make it ad blocked. And for today, I'm going to keep it like this. So, peace out, I guess. Have fun with your new Firefox, and I'll make other tutorials, and give me a subscribe and a like will be a world. It will mean a world to me. And maybe hit that bell button too so you can get more videos about Firefox later. So, assalamualaikum and Allah Hafiz. Everybody likes kung fu fighting. Da-da-da.